Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've been working hard on the music you're about to hear, and we hope you are excited. Old Churches was written by Michael Colgrass. Throughout Mr. Colgrass's career, he pushed his expressive capabilities of school bands. When he wrote Old Churches, he wanted to create music that did more than just rehash Gregorian chant. He wanted to have the band evoke the setting of a large, empty cathedral. He did this by reinventing the music that we look at. Rather than the standard notation that we look at for the rest of our music, large portions of our music for Old Churches has vague shapes and written instructions. Mr. Colgrass has developed this technique through his career as a composer and calls it soundscapes. With this technique, Mr. Colgrass literally invites you to close your eyes and imagine the space where these sounds are coming from. Old Churches has challenged us in a big way. It is so out of the box that it took us a while to get it. I think we're getting it now, though. Let your imagination run wild as we present Old Churches by Michael Colgrass.
With our next song, May Song is a beautiful piece by William Owens for his wife, Georgia. When I was at Honor Band 2 weeks ago, our director had a saying that I think is a perfect example of this. There's only two types of arrangements, love songs or pirate songs. For this song, our band director, our very own Mr. Huseth, wants us to think of the emotion of somebody we love. Knowing me, I picked Ariana Grande, and knowing Marley, she picked Harry Styles. I think this is a perfect way to think of this song to help show emotion and feel the sound. There's many aspects to make the song feel right. For example, this is a rounded binary type of song. And of course, no sane person knows what that is, so I'll try my best to explain it to you. A rounded binary song is a type of song to repeat many different themes, then in the middle have something to spice it up. This thing starts straight out to the melody, but a little bit quieter, and we can call this A. It does this twice into the middle section, which we can call B, and after that, it goes it goes back to the A another time, and then it gets a beautiful crescendo, turning this piece from an E flat to a B flat. A B flat major is to show happiness and joy, and then the A repeats itself twice. Then we have a slow part to the end, or what we call the coda, with a duet played with a nice and peaceful ending. The director of this piece, William Owens, is a well-known composer in the music community and had composed more than 100 band arrangements. He earned his bachelor's degree of music in 1985. He is from Gary, Indiana, and currently lives with his wife in Fort Worth, Texas. We hope you enjoy this piece and the rest of the concert. Here is May Song.
To close our portion of the concerts tonight, we will be performing Over Galactica by John O'Reilly. Mr. O'Reilly is a cornerstone of many school band musical librarians, with well over 150 compositions, 2 beginners band method books, and 1 beginner string method book. Mr. O'Reilly's music is so influential that any of you who played it an instrument in high school almost certainly played music written by him. We have 4 of his pieces in our high school band library, as well as both of his method books. Over Galactica has been one of our favorite. Its spirited, energetic style contrasts well with the slow styles you heard us perform earlier. Each section gets a moment to drive the spaceship as well as launch it into orbit. Thank you all for coming tonight, and please enjoy Over Galactica by John O'Reilly.
Aaron Copland was born in 1900 in Brooklyn, New York, and through his long musical career became one of the most influential American musicians in Western classical music. By the end of his career, his friends and critics were even calling him the Dean of American Composers. During the Great Depression, he developed a sound that he referred to as vernacular or populist. His goal was for his music to be approachable and easily listened to by all. It was a very democratic approach to music that contrasted with the heady academic music of the early 20th century. If the phrase, beef, it's what's for dinner, reminds you of a certain food-themed commercial from the early 90s, then you probably have Hoedown by Aaron Copland going through your head right now. He used open harmonies, singable melodies, and danceable rhythms to develop a sound that grew to represent the wide open spaces of the American frontier, the American spirit, and everyday heroism. Fanfare for the Common Man was commissioned by the Cincinnati Symphony in 1942 as part of a series of fanfares to be performed by the orchestra during the duration of World War II. The title and the piece itself was inspired by a speech given by then Vice President Henry Wallace, titled The Century of the Common Man. In this speech, Vice President Wallace paints a picture of the United States as a leader in a post-war democratic world. Aaron Copland skillfully encapsulated the essence of common man heroism and sacrifice in Fanfare for the Common Man. This piece has gone on to be arguably the most recognizable piece of American music in history and was performed at the inaugural closing for the 9/11 Memorial in New York City in 2014. Here's Fanfare for the Common Man by Aaron Copland.
So I'm going to take a couple minutes here to introduce our next one. This has become a personal favorite of mine, and it's been a huge challenge for these students. I want to make sure I introduce it properly. It's a great piece, but it takes some thinking about. Louis Ballard was born in 1920. He was a tribal member of the Quapaw Nation. The Quapaw Nation are currently in northeast Oklahoma, but in 1837 they were forcibly removed from their historical homeland in central Arkansas. Louis Ballard started his education, or got his primary education, at the Seneca Indian Boarding School, which is an American Indian boarding school, and just like many other American Indian boarding schools, had a thinly veiled goal of destroying American Indian culture. And as you can imagine, that had a pretty drastic effect. Louis Ballard himself reported some pretty terrible experiences through that schooling. So he would go to school, like through high school, he'd go to this American Indian boarding school, and then he would come home and he would live with his grandmother. His grandmother nurtured his Quapaw heritage. She encouraged him to re-engage with his native music making, his native dance, his native language, and he practiced all that at home and was very proud of it. In fact, by the time he was a young adult, he was an award-winning member of their dance society. He was a drummer. He was an artist. He spoke his language fluently. It's pretty incredible, and it resulted in this dual identity that I know I've heard reported before. Louis Ballard finished his time at the Seneca boarding school and went to the Tulsa University, where he became the first American Indian in the country to graduate with a postgraduate degree in music theory and composition. Through that, and this is where I'm going to start talking about what you need to listen for. Through that, he was introduced to the neoclassical school of composition. Neoclassical, in one word, means reinvention. These were a group of composers who decided they wanted to reinvent what classical music was, and that's epitomized by a neoclassical composer named Milton Babbitt, who published a journal that was titled "Who Cares If They Listen?", in which he argued that the advancement of the art and playing new and different things was more important than whether the audience liked it or not. I don't really buy that. I think that's a pretty terrible philosophy, but it opened up the door for Louis Ballard to incorporate his own Quapaw heritage into this music. And it allowed him to create something totally new, something totally unique, and something 100% Louis Ballard. And I think it's really incredible. It took us a lot of time to get our heads around this, our ears around this. It's really challenging. I think these students are doing a fabulous job. And I kept telling them it's super easy to dive into music that you love. It is not easy to dive into music that you don't understand. And this is music that they don't understand. They didn't understand. I think they have a better grasp of it now. And they're doing a really wonderful job. Before we play it, I just want to encourage you all to listen to this with open ears. Understand that you're going to hear sounds that are really foreign. Dissonance is your friend. It's extremely unpredictable. It's very new and unique. But listen to it with open ears, understand where it came from, and please enjoy Scenes from Indian Life by Louis Ballard.
Many of you may be familiar with the tune Greensleeves as a Christmas hymn titled, What Child Is This? This hymn was written in 1865, but the truth is Greensleeves is far older than that. A significant amount of evidence suggests this tune is the second oldest Western secular piece of music still remembered in a recognizable form. It is certainly the oldest piece of music that any of us here can sing off the top of our heads. The lyrics for the song were first printed in 1580, and the evidence suggests that the tune could date as early to 1360. These lyrics paint a sad picture of a man who has been spurned by his crush. He attempts to bring her gifts to woo her, but she turns him down again and again. It is a surprisingly sad song for something remembered by so many people. We have grown to love this piece, and we hope our passion and emotion shine through this performance of Greensleeves, arranged by Alfred Reed.
And before we go on to our final piece, I do have a lot of thank yous to offer. This music doesn't happen in a silo, doesn't happen just by me, happens by a lot of people. So I want to thank our administration. I think Steve is here tonight. Please make sure to say thank you to him. I want to thank our teachers, all those teachers who allow me to pull these students out of their classes and work on music like this. Huge thank you to them. I want to thank my music colleagues, Ryan Hansen, Rhonda Card, Katie Bytart, Rachel Holte, and Regina Romhild. Huge thank you to them. They build all of these skills. They nurture all of these skills. I just get to play around with it, so I get the easy part. Also a huge thank you to those family and parents and friends who support this at home. This stuff wouldn't happen without you. So huge thank you for that. And obviously to the students. This is my dream job. I absolutely love every day that I get to work with you all. And it's because of you guys. So huge thank you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jaden to introduce our final piece of music.
John Mackey was born in Ohio in 1973. Despite not knowing how to play an instrument, he has developed a career as one of the most forward-thinking band composers of his generation. He wrote his first piece of music at the age of 11 and eventually earned music degrees from the Cleveland Institute of Music and Juilliard. Initially, he composed only for dance studios and the recitals. In 2005, however, he was commissioned to arrange one of his dance pieces for a concert band and never looked back. Foundry is meant to evoke the industrial sounds of a factory. Our expanded percussion sections took a day to collect found percussion to help us create these sounds. You will see them playing on piles of metal, stacks of wood, and our favorite instrument, which Mr. Mackey simply calls the clang. Thank you so much for coming to this evening's concert, and we hope you enjoy Foundry by John Mackey.
So a quick reminder to students, I need your help clearing the stage. Everybody else, thank you so much and have a fabulous evening.